Hi, everybody. Hi. Well, that was really loud. Thank you for joining me. This is Joanna, the Early Morning Ascension Show. Yay. Rainbow hugs and kisses to everyone. Thank you for joining me. We're so excited to be with you here today for another session. Hopefully, we're going to go far and wide. I'm calling in all of these magnificent experiences for communication and for interpretation. There's many things that are being integrated and expanding in my own field, and I'm allowing it to take its form within my experience and my consciousness. Lots of things that are being harmonized as I'm releasing and transmuting what was. And today we're going to talk about what we touched on yesterday, but in a much grander and expansive way. So I hope that you'll take some time in the next couple of days, if you so desire, and just continue working with these concepts of really expansive becoming and expansive integration of your own. I'm going to try to explain it in the best way that I can, although again, because we're touching on such expansive topics of our own dimensionality in its expansiveness, our dimension is expanding as each and every one of us expand in our awareness, because we in and of ourselves are micro, macro, holographic experiences of our dimension. As we're stepping into these new threads and sheaths of experience, dimensional coding, we are creating that dimension in physical matter. And why we have been talking about for quite some time, the spirit creating the matter. So what practice of relationship do you have with spirit in and of itself, in and of you, the creational whole, your planet, every being before you is an aspect of spirit. So what relationship are you holding with that will determine the relationship of the experiential reality that you are manifesting, the physical matter of it all. Whether that physical matter is an ill body or a diseased body, that is still physical matter that has been manifested from all that has been energy. The energy interacting with itself, you as the energy reverberating vibration, reverberating beliefs, reverberating perspectives, and why we are recalling and recoiling all of our consciousness, all of our awareness, all of our intentions, and how we direct our energy, bringing all that focus back to ourselves. All of that focus back to ourselves brings not only crystallization to who we are as bigger, grander beings of the infinite, of the all, of the experience of the all experience in itself is us, aspects of us experiencing itself as the all. Just waiting for that noise to move. But we also wanted to talk about the all in and of itself experiencing itself in a new way. Because as you are a particle of the all, you are the one particle of the all ever expanding itself, releasing the old, creating new, stepping out into new threads of sheaths. These sheaths are cascading potential vibrational codes. Then matter comes and forms itself through your practicing of your new energy vibration, your energy integration, how you're integrating that code, how you're integrating and processing that information, and why we've been talking about some of the things might not be understood, because these are first-time experiences of this dimensional thread, this dimensional sheath. So we're experiencing it together. All of these wonderful, beautiful experiences that we're experiencing together, and how we manifest and anchor it becomes physical, because the Gaia is our portal to physicality. We need to manifest with Gaia to bring it into physical form, because she is the holder of our dimensional reality experience, because we're on her as an earth, just as if Pluto, Jupiter, all of our planetary galactic soul blueprints would have its own manifestation process. Jupiter, or let's say Plutonians, have a different vibrational creation on Pluto than we do here on Earth. So it's unique in its manifestation process. It's unique because every planet has its dimensional soul code, soul blueprint. Every planet has its own soul blueprint, just as every one of us do. And Spirit and God, the Creator, all that is, has systems of benevolence working within it. Every planet, every person, micro, macro, holographic, comes with its own set of codes, constructs through which it creates within. And that construct can be known as, we can call it beliefs. What beliefs are you able to create within? Some have very limited belief systems that they're manifesting to transmute, and some have very expansive belief systems. So it's all unique and it's all perspective based on that unique being. What is it connected with? What lineage, what akash, what records does it come with that it can move beyond, transcend, and then expand into? Move beyond, transcend, and then move into. Because why we've been talking about the last year or two, what I've been through, what I've experienced, is to know that there is an elegant process of what you must move through, integrate those lessons and become full in, so that you can move up into these sheaths of experience. And every one of these sheaths of experience, every one of these vibrational dimensional sheaths that you are moving into, they're like cascading sheets of vibration. If you've just been on this vibrational platform, say it's been densely 3D, and you've just had so many awakenings over a 5-year process, this is a very quick analogy. For any one being to ascend through a 5-year process to experience an entirely different dimension, there's going to be very subtle and very profound ways that that person, that being, will experience its new reality in profound ways. And it could be the expansive connections with light ships, the expansive connection with nature, the expansive connection with communication, how it senses itself within its environment is going to be expansive and profound. And each one of these cascading sheaths offer different and unique codes of potential within it. That's why these little dots are, they're energetic vibrational codes that one activates oneself within it, holographic. And that is through the awareness of itself in itself, the God of itself, knowing and being holographic within its godliness of all directions. My godliness here, there, that's become the expansion factor. It all sounds very monotonous because these are new concepts, but dimensionality is run within a spiraling of now, where we're stepping into this new sheath of potentiation, where we're releasing time, we're stepping into an all space experience, becoming more comfortable with the void, if you will, not having to plan and understand future concepts, but just focus in this now experience. As we're releasing the densities of what was, the stories of what was, we free up all of this vibrational potential alchemic flow. We can say space, but it's not really what it is, because space is an illusion. It's this space through which matter is held within. So once the densities are removed, the matter of who we are becomes greater light. That greater light begins to process in a multidimensional manner potential. So our matter becoming processes and integrates and understands light multidimensionally. Your body in and of itself, how it processes new environments as codes and as lights and as potential, unyet manifested. Because remember, our spirit manifests matter. So unyet manifested experiences, our bodies, our minds, our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual experiences have to harmonize all of these components. As we're harmonizing these components, we're now becoming more available to how we're able to manifest with creational excitement, manifest within the creational laws. Why understanding the laws are so important. Why taking your time through every process of an ascension cycle is so important. Because you wouldn't want to step into a space of creational manifestation when you have not healed the wounds. Otherwise, you're manifesting deep trauma over and over and over again. You're manifesting deep tower moments over and over and over again, because the process of our acceleration is quickening and the work has not been done. And therefore it's causing that cell, like I said, in one of our posts, it's like expecting a 5-year-old to get into a car and drive. Its sensory system would clamp down and create what is a fight or flight experience, because it's not ready yet to enter into this space of responsibility. As we enter into greater space of dimensionality, there will be constructs, what did they say? Constructs of creation, but not constructs of creation within the dimensional thread. So within every dimensional thread, there are rules, if you will, of creation. Every dimension has its level of rules of creation, how and what it can create within. And why we have to practice through the laws of one, why we have to practice through the laws of energetic responsibility. We wouldn't want to expand into greater space of creation immediately where we're creating from thought when we're still unhealed. Then we're healing trauma after trauma, war after war, war after war. Can you imagine? Instant manifestation from leaders that manifest from ego, and they're responsible for entire peoples and lands and countries. So it's important that we absolutely understand the creational laws, and those that want to continue to play in the arenas of, challenging creational laws and going through their practices of that, then there will be spaces for those to do so. And there will be certain collectives and beings that will watch and honor the expansive exploration process within certain realms of rules, if you will, because the destructive behaviors will not affect the masses. So there will always be those creational laws and, watch parties, if you will, because they're all meant to evolve, and certain souls need those evolutions of darkness and density to traject themselves in the next soul experience into great light and creational harmony. So it's all needed and required, but there are absolute bodies of creational beings that watch over these threads and sheaths of exploration through evolution. And so that's where you can release all the fear and all the worry about, what I went through the past couple of years. There was so much time and energy placed within my experience on the many beings that were, playing havoc in my energies, thinking they had entitlement over my direction and over my path, playing control, control gods over me and my destiny. And it really didn't require even a portion of the amount that I had my energy wrapped up in it, simply because of the misunderstanding of those creational laws. So that's helping me better understand and just relax into these higher vibrational creational laws. And every sheath of vibrational threads has its own creational constructs. The creational constructs are exactly equal to the beings within that sheath of experience, where you're coming from and how you're moving to, the number of people in that collective sheath, if you will, and the expansiveness of their own awareness potential. The awareness potential, who are you within your reality, what exists within you, is that potential. So if there's no seeking within, if there's no reflecting within, if there's no seeking that partnership and that connection within, or that understanding of everything outside of itself as a partnership, as a connection, then there's not going to be that expansiveness. And that's why understanding and us bringing these beautiful, law of one teachings to an offering like this as a collective level that are free and unconditional are so very valuable. Understanding awareness in and of itself is who are you, what do you exist within, and what exists within you at its very basic level. In that, there are dimensional sheaths of codes and reality potential. As we're expanding into these new reality potentials, those sheaths become ever more cascading because there is no one timeline. There's an infinite number of timelines, and there are collective of bodies of souls based on their own unique perspective opening, their own unique awakening, will determine how these collectives are going to clump together to create matter. That's why there's going to be reducing numbers of timelines that the collective bodies will co-create within. And there's always free will to switch and change, because now we're getting so excited to keep creating these profundities that we're now opening up into. Awakening the mind, awakening the emotional body, and releasing a lot of the emotional wounds, having that infinite flow between the emotional body, the mental body, the physical, and the spiritual body, harmonizing as the soul aspect, making sure that you're calling in all your soul fragments as you're healing the shadow. If you're healing the inner child wounds, you're creating that harmonization of the grander soul that you are. So as you're harmonizing and healing those wounds, you're expanding out into, because your awareness of yourself is including all that you are. You're including those triggers, you're including those soul energy moments where you were wounded. You're including it in your story, you're including all that you are, therefore you're expanding in space of energy. Your space of energy through the divine plan, through the divine elegance of evolution, for those collectives that have been brought from many, many universes, are now collectively starting to integrate higher vibrational, I see them as potential codes. These potential codes are like, it's like sheet music. And the sheet music is given as, it's given like this. This is how I see it. Sheet music, where source, the creator, other higher vibrational energies download vibrational codes into a collective space, if you will. Space can mean many things holographically. It can mean galactic space, where codes are needed to enhance certain aspects of the galactic territory. I say galactic in and of itself, galaxy, the galaxy where we sit within, where Gaia sits within, where Pluto sits within, where Saturn sits within. And there are many, many beings within the divine elegant ascension plan that do such things. They're galactic, galactic infusers of light and codes and love, based on keeping everything in balance. That's one of the top laws in our universal creational evolution, is the law of balance. And there's many beings that are working within the laws of balance. And Spirit says we need that there. Go create that there. How are you so excited to create balance? So these beings that are excited to create within balance and keeping the galaxy in harmony of evolution based on all of these infinite programs of light, Spirit will send these beings there to create such codes and create such energy, alchemy, if you will, at a greater vibrational collective consciousness. Every level of consciousness has its unique level of cascading potential. And again, that potential is based on the constructs. The constructs are your individual holographic micro macro. Who are you? What you exist within, and what exists within you? What are your beliefs about who you are? If you can't believe that you can expand into an ascension experience, oneness experience in itself, because you are one, experience itself as oneness, because you've just expanded into the oneness factor of perhaps levitating. If you don't have that belief, then you will not be in that cascading sheath where that is possible. But there might be 30,000 that are ready to start experimenting and start practicing and start exploring what levitation is and how those vibrations can mix within this new vibrational sheath. Spirit, God, the creator, now says, wow, there's enough of that collective to experience that. Let's start operating and creating those codes. Those codes and sheaths of that environment will start harmonizing into the field. Those constructs now become available into the harmonization of the collective, harmonizing those potentials. Enough of the collective, if you will, that are tapping into healthy air and healthy water. Enough of that collective, then those codes will be brought in for innovations, inventions that will assist in the collective harmonizing new clean air and clean water, because we are all here to uplift our whole planet. We're here to uplift the collective in the potentials of higher evolutionary thought creations, really. And so vibrational understanding of who you are, how it operates within these sheaths of potential, is you as a sheath of potential. You harmonizing is the sheath of potential within new threads of potential. We call it, and they said, which is it kind of gives us an understanding, a practical way to understand ourselves as a universal being right now in this moment of evolution for humanity. And it's going to rapidly ascend and maximize and have capacity for us to start harmonizing and integrating greater light and greater codes. We're becoming so like sponges now, like children that have released so much, and we're ready to play. We're ready to play as universal beings. Our way to understand that right now practically is to see it and perceive it and experience it in a dimensional way. And it's just like when you're teaching someone, as a child, how it understands a number system. So this is kind of a concept that they're giving us, is that to understand yourself as a universal being, we're offering you it in a way of dimensionality. And these dimensionalities come in these sheaths of potential that each one has the potential to accept itself within, to allow itself within. Awareness is about your acceptance and allowance to have that flow of light live through you, the flow of God live through you, within and without, as above, so below. It's the infinite flow of essence, the infinite flow of being. It's the infinite flow of experience, the experience of God in all things, becoming it of it. As you know yourself of it, so too does it become. But again, what are those constructs? Your constructs are each and every individual soul's blueprint. That soul blueprint, as we've talked about many times, what do you come with to transcend? What is it that you're ready to expand beyond? And it's not just saying, okay, I expand beyond it, and then you jump to the next thing. That's not learning of it and what purpose it taught you. That's why the daily work is so important. You can't jump to the end. You must go through all the phases and all the steps. You must go through those steps of the sheath to get up to this vibrational thread. You wouldn't be able to survive in a higher vibrational sheath if you didn't go through all the steps. And there's Spirit wouldn't allow that. It would have no purpose of evolution as an experience to have done that. Yes, because then you can say, yes, that's an experience too, it's been done. But most wouldn't want to do that. because it would be like spontaneous combustion. They wouldn't be able to handle the light. They wouldn't be able to process the light because their inner system has not released the density to allow that light to flow. It wouldn't know what to do with the light. It would be confused, what would be called a psychotic break. The psychotic break would be that it wouldn't know itself within that level of light. And it would keep returning back to what it knew last. And what often has been called personality disorders, even bipolarism, where there's a break in that energy and it's not been sewn together. It doesn't know of itself where it is. And that's why understanding the energy body, understanding the physical body, how to ground is important. Grounding and harmonizing all that you are while you're healing those soul fragments will be very, very important as we accelerate and move into these greater codes of light. When we say moving into, the energy of our current experience, is that beautiful little picture? We're harmonizing. Our whole entire universe is moving into a new universal sheath, that cascading sheath. Because remember, micro, macro. So the universe that we're in is moving into a new vibrational sheath. Everything within our universe is creating these, is being offered these new threads of codes. As I said, I see it as a thread of code. That thread of code is going to touch our universe, our galaxy, our planet. The biosphere of our planet might be touched, what if we can ever call it, because we don't have words for these experiences that I'm offering you. It might be called, we'll call it a micro nano. That's what they're giving me, a micro nano. This micro nano is an essence of energy that touches a certain edge of creational life. We'll say the biosphere. That biosphere purity of spirit knows exactly where it goes to, knows exactly what it does and how it's meant to be absorbed. And so does that life system within its touching of it. That's spirit, that's God. God knows what God's doing, God's in all things. So as you can understand and start pondering and wondering with these types of things, you can then expand into what is that for me? Again, micro, macro. So these sheets of universal, multiversal ascension properties of codes, of love, of light, of spirit, of source, of God, that touch certain aspects of creation in ways it's needed, how it's needed, and when it's needed, and in what way it's needed. That's God. God knows what God's doing. That's why healing the ego on the many of the things that we've been talking about over the many couple of years about how we've been transcending galactic wars on appropriate use of energy, appropriate universal laws. You can relax into just allowing life to occur. And your job solely is to heal the wounds that are being brought up and surfaced, so that you can expand into your fullness, creating thus then for a greater level of awareness. The level of awareness is, again, your multidimensional essence, sensory perspectives. A belief is a perspective. So once you transmute that belief, you're creating a grander perspective, a grander awareness level of your consciousness. Consciousness is everything. Consciousness of a child cannot go out and drive a car. It needs higher consciousness to understand the consequences of a 5-year-old getting a car. So this too is ascension. One must understand the consequences of this vibrational sheath to move into the next one, fully master it, fully be awake within it, fully integrate those lessons of that sheath of consciousness. Every sheath of consciousness, every cascading level of consciousness has its levels of constructs, rules, and consequences, so that you're understanding how you're evolving. And yes, there's going to be many levels where we pitfall, many levels where we fall back, many levels where we're going back and forth, 10 steps forward, 8 back, 2 steps forward, 12 back. Because that's consciousness. You have to keep rebuilding yourself after you fall. And so that is why this trip is so profound, and you wouldn't want to rush through it. You would never want it to ever be a race. Never. Take every moment for your luxury of knowing you. What is your connection with you? What is your connection with your feeling of you now? When you go through a profound release or inner child healing, you absolutely feel different days after you've had that deep release. The first thing that you would want to do is sit and be reflective and observatory of who you are in those days. Because it's just like being reborn. Wow, I see the world new. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. Your eyesight changes. How you see the world changes because it becomes more vibratory. Many of the things that I've seen over the years and in my radio shows and in my podcasts, I've shared with you things that I've seen that I cannot describe. As a seer, my eyes and my third eye and my galactic third eye and all that I sit within as a Merkaba is changing. These codes are becoming more pure and real and refined for me because I'm now accessing higher vibrational sheaths and cascades of a dimension that wasn't accessed before, because I've cleared and I've harmonized within my allness, the one within itself, the God of me. I've recognized myself as God in a new way. So that recognition of God has allowed me to open up and spiral and call in greater light, micro macro. Just as the micro macro of our vibrational dimension is now offering these new cascades of potential. And again, potential is based on the constructs that you exist within. How open, how allowing are the constructs of you? I'm infinite, I can heal my body. I'm infinite, light works through me. I'm infinite, I can create new thought forms that are multidimensional, that are beyond what I was ever taught in school. I started feeling so very excited today about things that I'd never learned in school. I can feel myself harmonizing into the energy intelligence of my off-world experiences. And what that feels like is, I've given this analogy before, because remember, everything is a harmonizing, spiraling all now moment. The more awake you are, the more profound you are in your gifts and your skills, you can feel those other rooms in the house. We talked about this on our radio shows, the you that have been with us for a long time. The mansions, the many mansions of you, and that's what's been called and termed the many mansions of the heavens. Many mansions of the heavens has been written about in many of our sacred texts. And that merely means that you now have access to these many aspects of you that are constantly harmonizing you. It knows of you. That 8th dimensional Pleiadian knows of you in the 5th dimensional perspective, 4th dimensional, 3rd dimensional. It's a constant awareness of evolution. As they are evolving on the 8th dimension of, say, the Pleiades or Sirius or Centauri, those aspects are sending me those light potentials. And I'm now awaking to it. I can feel it. I can feel that vibration in my sheath, my cascading sheath. I've moved up, I've let go. Now I'm waking up into these new sheaths of potential, which then offers me these operating energies that are also cycling in that potential collective. So I'm now creating that audience of new collective energies that are now in their own potential collective energies. They've cleared some stuff, they've moved up, they're ready to co-create. Spirit at any given moment says, okay, there's enough of that collective to create something really magical. Let's start inspiring them through greater activations, through their exploration, their expression, and their experience. Are they exploring new things? Are they experiencing themselves in new ways? Are they expressing themselves in new ways? Are they ready for a new collective experience, integration? New codes will then be offered in this collective sheath, this harmonic song, this harmonic note, this harmonic cascading step of experience. That step of experience will be offered all that it will be and more for those to experience a new expansive awareness. Boom, an awakening. Wow, we never saw that before. Look at that. And so all of these experiences of me, I'm feeling in the many mansions of me. If I'm sitting in this beautiful mansion house and there's all these different rooms, I can hear what's going on in that room. I can hear what's going on in that room, but I'm still getting what I need. That's what it feels like moving up in a dimensional sheath or level. You can feel the vibrations of you in the house. And if one room is focusing on, it's just like a light, you're going into this light ship and there's multidimensional cascading seats, like an auditorium. That's how I always call the councils of light. There's an auditorium of all these light beings from all galaxies, all dimensions, all realms, all universes. And they all sit in these meetings with us. And in this council of light chamber, we're all in party. Our higher selves and our souls are all in agreement of this connection. We're connecting because we want to expand our hearts as a higher vibrational collective. How can we create expansiveness? How can we get excited about our expansiveness? And so up on the 12th dimensional seat, I can hear things and I can feel things, and it's being trickled down into my collective now experience. So whatever is coming into my vibrational now moment as code, this offering, this new ability, this new sequencing of quantum mechanics that I've learned in other realms, and I'm now getting those tangible lessons of intelligence being brought to me now, because this level of cascading sheath has been open to me. I'm now sitting in this cascading sheet and I'm now receiving those codes. I'm now receiving those awarenesses. Your awareness is a multidimensional experience. Remember, it's based on the constructs of you. So if you start breaking away those constructs, I believe I can sense all information. So affirm to yourself, who are you? I can read information in multidimensional ways. It's not just through sensing. Sensing is a multidimensional experience and it's infinite. Creation in and of itself is infinite. We are infinite beings within the infinite. That is your awareness. But how active and participatory are you? Are you in a connection? Connection is that flow, constant flow. You can release connections when they're not of service to you and then create new connections. But the connection is always really there. It's just not in the flow. So your flowing energy to that new connection will operate that new tangible potentiation. So again, connection is really, really important to understand and really start playing with the ideas of connection. Connection is how you begin to create the energy, if you will. Connecting to this code right here is different than connecting to that code there, because you'll feel this difference. When I'm connecting with the councils of light, it's a body of energy, a body of feeling, a body of sensation. It feels different than this being, which would be the beings of Centauri, the beings of Pleiades. They're different feelings. I feel differently. I just know. So that's where you're operating in this new connection of who you are within the all, because you're becoming more all of yourself. Your allness of yourself, your expansiveness of yourself, then thus, therefore, dictates the reality that you're starting to experience. You might not see it or know it, but I'm explaining it into a way that this is what happens when you're experiencing a dimensional shift. It's the way that we understand our universal beingness in a practical way. They're very subtle right now, and they will become very profound. Right now, it has to be subtle because it would otherwise then create psychotic shock for many, because they're so steeped within the 3D, 4D experiences that we're just leaving behind. So it needs to be done incrementally. It needs to be done again within the contract and the soul respect of their own unique pacing. That's why nobody can ever jump. One can want to quantum jump timelines, but they will only quantum jump the timeline that they are prepared for, and their soul and their higher self will make sure of it, because otherwise they would self-combust. They would not understand the reality that they've just quantum jumped within. So that's where the ego has to be surrendered. The ego cannot go to a realm where it's not prepared for. It just couldn't. It wouldn't understand what it's doing. It's sitting there going, I have no idea what's going on, because it wants to be in that ego place to understand what's going on. It wants to control the environment. It wants to control thought form. It wants to control where it is. It has no idea that, for example, this one experience, there was a vision that I had of this bubble, this experience of these consciousness beings living on a bubble. And these consciousness beings lived on the bottom of the bubble, not on the top of the bubble. So they lived on if we understand gravity, but their planetary consciousness didn't have gravity. So they lived on the bottom part of this sphere. But to us, it would seem weird because our consciousness only understands what we know to be based on the reality that we come from, the construct reality we've been living within environmentally, if you will. But that's not the way it is on every single planet. That's just this planet. Other planets have different experiences and constructs of its reality co-creation, different levels of what we call air. Some planets don't even have air and have something different. So this idea of construct reality would be, someone's like, well, that's not real. That's not true. How would that be? Well, because you're still living within the construct of who you are, and you're not allowing that to be something different in another level of consciousness. So again, how awake and how aware of you are to allow those new constructs to be possible. Everything's possible. If you can think it, it's possible. If it's coming to you as an idea, it's coming to you as an inspiration, that's God saying, yeah, that's possible. You can't not think of not possible. It's all possible, it's infinite. That's creational law. Creational law is infinite. We are now realizing ourselves as a creational being, and we're saying, wow, it's infinite. We do have constructs that we get to work with them because we're still practicing to be universal beings. We're still practicing how to communicate as high sensory essence beings. And our body is a replicate and a representation of that spirit. But to know thyself as spirit first, all is spirit. And I'm manifesting through spirit. I'm understanding things as spirit. I'm downloading codes as spirit. And then I get to physicalize it in my manifestations. That is the process of manifestation and alchemy. So it's profound in understanding how these cascading dimensional sheaths are working for us. And your higher self and your soul and your teams and your guides are also helping move you up into these dimensional sheaths when you're ready for it. There will be moments through which, I've explained in my past, until you get used to the vibrational dimension, that there will be moments of confusion in and out of your reality. Like yesterday, I was this video that I had watched had inspired me on the multidimensionality of how I can see things. So it awoken some things in my third eye. And when I went to sleep, I was seeing the multidimensional realities as cascading holograms, like holograms of reality that you have potential to see into. So it was really, really cool. And so those calcium deposits, and those sheaths were removed. And spirit is in charge of that, as long as your intentions of that as well. The intention and purity of your heart to be more fully you. Not to do it so you can get things and do things, but to be more fully you. Again, are you integrating the purity of your heart? I'm integrating because I really want to feel who I am. I want to see who I am in grander ways. I want to experience who I am in greater ways. I want to know that I'm a part of this creational reality. I want to see that new sheath, because I've done with so much of this density. I've done with the vibrational lessons. I've done with the karmic lessons. I've done with the cycle here. I'm ready to move on to something new. And how you really know you're ready is because you feel like an excited child. Let's go, spirit. Let's go. I want to play. I want to play. I want to play. Just like going into a new playground. That's what these dimensional sheaths are about. New playgrounds of codes to start manifesting matter. And you'll see that all on the path with you will have variations of you also excited to create in higher vibrational matter. And as a conduit, we're working with higher vibrational grades of vibrational Gaia energy. So as these, just speaking as and also those two of you are healers with Gaia, there'll be sheaths of codes for Gaia biosphere that will be always integrated. So integrating, why we've been talking about over the last 3 or 4 months, is integrating yourself with Gaia as much as possible, and why we've been doing the park sessions. Integrate yourself with the parks, integrate yourself with the forest, integrate yourself with the new oceans, because it's different. It's not what it was, because you are a now new sensory being, the universal laws of creation. So here's some of the channeled notes in my notes for today. One of the creational first laws is the law of infinity. We are one. The all is one as God. God is, we are one. The infinity is infinite. Finite only comes into the constructs through which we create within. Every dimension has its own unique constructs of dimensionality based on, again, those collective beings within that dimension. In our collective dimension, 3rd, 4th, and 5th reality, as we sit upon Earth right now, and all of the multidimensional codes and aspects that are being sent to us in our biosphere, because there's energies and sparks of light that are 12th and 15th and 17th dimension that we're just sensing and feeling, and Gaia is bathing and soaking in. So it's not just 1 or 2 dimensional energies we're bathing within. It's like a soup and a sway and a song of different notes. And those different notes are different vibrational threads and offerings and codes and gifts from God. And so as Gaia is operating on these bathing of, Gaia is being given energy baths, just as each and every one ask for that in our own healing. So too is Gaia, and her soul code within the planet and the galaxy is changing. The collective numbers of us that believe our galaxy looks the way it does is, again, and this is where we want you to expand your mind, because the more consciously aware you are, consciously awake you are, breaking free of all limitations and restrictions and constructs, you're then stepping into this new potentiation. Regardless of what Google says, regardless of what Google thinks it knows, we're now operating into a higher vibrational potential, becoming this. Our galaxy, what we think we know of it, is only a portion of what we think we know of it, because it was only thought up of and placed in books and documents and papers and videos and blah, 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 all that was, which is very valid and very honorable. But it's only a portion, because our collective has agreed to see our galaxy in that way. Our collective has agreed in vibration to see our planet that way. Our collective has agreed to see our collective human that way. But now we're changing as a collective. We can choose in any moment to see your collective as multidimensional universal celestial beings, or not, as we all are. We know that. Our DNA will show that as we understand and create higher vibrational tools of who we truly are, and we see the dimensional vibrational realities and truths, creational truths that are within our DNA, and that is to come. Therefore, stretching our potentiation and the construct, if you will, of that vibrational sheath, because then we know ourselves differently now within that one DNA factor, if you will. The reality of factors are infinite. The factor of our health is one factor of reality. The factor of our abundance systems are a factor of our reality. And all of those are being harmonized and being massaged, if you will, by these higher vibrational codes. So everything is becoming more and more infinite, because we are choosing to create the constructs of our reality, but there's no boxes on that. It's an illusion. We only say constructs as if it's a preordained law, but it isn't. We can have a being that is very self-actualized in a physical body, becoming more and more light in its light body, accepting its light body, accepting its wholeness and all of its soul fragments, becoming more of itself as a light body. But it can be operating in a 7th or 8th dimensional perspective, perhaps 20 or 30% of the time. If it's allowing itself, therefore the constructs of that experience are very wide open, as opposed to operating in a 90% third dimensional reality, because that third dimensional perspective chooses not to heal or chooses not to expand itself, which is also valid too. It's all needed and required. It's all one. So to see that self as accepting of its oneness, I accept that part of me that doesn't want to heal, and I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. So that is, again, the law of understanding the right use of will, the creational law of infinity. If one person wants to choose, or one being or one government or one country wants to choose to experience itself as an infinite experience, that country will then start calling into its creational reality other beings and other consciousness and other collectives that also vibrate in that same potential. That's why what we believe of our world, what we believe of our galaxy is all going to change, because those were only constructs in that one experience. Now the experience is now breaking away. Those constructs are breaking away in every way. Physical, mental, emotional, vibrational. The physical has an infinite number of things that we've created within it. Financial systems, medical systems, blah, all of those blah blahs. It's all breaking. Because those constructs are not there anymore. We're different. We're new. We're higher vibrational beings of new vibration, new potentials, new infinite intelligence. Every dimensional sheaths has its vibrational blanket, if you will, of dimensional intelligence. As again, whatever we so choose to match God with, this is our level of godliness matching. We're expanding ourselves. I'm godly today. I'm godly today. Those are affirmations that you can start creating with yourself and start seeking into the infiniteness of that dimensional moment, potential. Therefore, Spirit will offer you that equal opportunity. Again, that is the law of evolution. Everybody is offered the free will to evolve as needed, as wanted, as desired. Understanding creational law will make your ride much smoother. Because once you start denying those creational laws and thinking that the ego plays its part and the ego is the controller of it all and the ego is going to control who goes where and what does who, then that's when you start claiming your own karma and you start staying stuck within those cycles, calling in other people who want to play karmic cycles. There's no judgment of that, but that doesn't have to be the case if one doesn't choose that. But if one chooses that, that's okay too. Experiencing karma is very purposeful on the path of evolution, because that's how we learn. We learn to understand and honor energy. So you would never want to put and press your free will against somebody else's. Why would you? Because that just means you're getting a whole bunch of your own energy pressed against itself. And then therefore it would create depression, suppression, psychosis in different ways. Psychosis can also be experienced when one jumps to a dimension it doesn't understand, because it hasn't healed what was. You can't heal what was in a new dimensional thread. You just can't. You have to know thyself. That's what it means by know thyself. It means many, many things. It's not just a metaphor. Knowing thyself is a complete package of oneness. It doesn't mean you can't skip that chapter. You can't skip the chapter of knowing thyself. You must know thyself. Who are you? What do you exist within and what exists within you? What constructs are you building of thyself? You and God. So have that connection with God every day, with my spirit guides, with my ancestors. Who am my ancestors? Let's really play. I'm ready to play. What do I want to know about quantum mechanics today? What do I want to know about the quantum energy of who I am? And then you're in this mansion of this house, this big humongous house of who you are, mansions of the many heavens. You harmonize yourself into this new energy vibration. Some will be very subtle and some will be profound and some will be hardly known. You'll see yourself stepping into the moment of pause for this profound experience of understanding. What is awareness? Awareness is the multidimensional experience of you within the all. That is your awareness. And your awareness gets chipped away, density by density, belief by belief, construct by construct, illusion by illusion, gets taken away in your own choosing, in your own healing, because you want to know yourself as bigger, grander, more profound. So your profound spiral of now is constantly your choice. I'm going to release that construct. It doesn't serve me anymore. I don't want that limiting construct. I want to expand. I'm not being held back by anyone or no one or no thing. Because I'm on a reality where it says, no, I'm bigger, better, higher, more evolved than to be limited in a small package. I'm profound. I can heal my body. I can move forward. I have infinite experiences. That's why I feel so excited. So your level of awareness will be directly linked to your level of excitement, the inner child. That's how you know you're excited to move into a new realm of experience. new pattern of experience. Patterns, we say lightly because they're new now, patterns of excited, expressive experiential codes. I just see these sheaths, so I don't know how to explain these sheets of that's just compacting and contracting energies, right? They're sheaths. They contract and expand as we contract and expand our potential within it. So it's a symbiotic experience. That dimensional sheath is a symbiotic experience of us within it. That's why, again, I said earlier, our galaxy is only what we have created of it. It's far different and more vast than we even know. But we hadn't had the consciousness at that time. Now we're higher vibrational beings because we're in a new vibrational sheath. That vibrational sheath comes with intelligent energies. The dimensional intelligence has now changed. So our galaxy is new and different. That's why there will be new discoveries of our oceans, within our oceans, new life, new intelligent life within our oceans, new intelligent life within our galaxy, new intelligent life within ourselves, within our DNA. Because that dimensional sheath has opportunities of potential expansiveness. And we're opening into it. And we're saying, I'm excited about that. Let's learn about that. Let's offer it forward. Then the collective becomes more expansive. That's why it's a contracting and expanding sheath. It's like an energy band, and it keeps contracting and expanding, contracting, expanding. All of a sudden, bam, there's some matter material to play with. That's how reality is really created. And it's the consciousness level and the collectives that are within each dimensional intelligence sheath. And that's why your own evolution is so very valuable and important. And your evolution is directly related to your children. You came as a contract to say, these are my children, and I have a contract with you that I choose to do my highest and my best, to be my highest and my best, to move through my lessons, to move through my soul contracts, to move through my Akashic lessons, my karmic lessons, so that I can offer you my highest codes, so that you can explore life in your own unique way. Because all affects the all, vibrationally. That sheath of experience of construct, if this is a 3D experience, these 3D experiential beings and how these people direct, intend, and focus their energy will create that reality. And then those people want to play with other people that want to create that reality. So again, you can let go of who's doing what. It doesn't matter, because they're just going to attract the vibrational reality that they want to create with them. They can no longer control those people that don't want to play with them, because those constructs are being closed now. They cannot take from those that don't want to play with them. And that's why those doors are being shut by spirit. Spirit's directly shutting those doors. Spirit's directly in charge of those beings that are wanting to have control over others. Those constructs are changing. Because no one can now, as we're now becoming universal beings, they're now in operating of the universal laws. And honoring the free will and the creational laws of exploration and evolution are being upheld. And so everybody knows that, who are you within? Well, I'm a part of the universal law creational experience. I have my right to expand however I want to. Nothing and no one can hold me back. That is your law. Operate by that law. I get to explore these dimensional intelligences within this sheath because I'm leveling up. And everybody can take whatever path they want. I'm only responsible for me. And I know that in that, I'm serving my children, I'm serving all of Earth. Because they now have my light, potential, the opportunity, as I said earlier. That 8th dimensional version of me offered me those packets of inspiration. And in the mansions of my many houses, I'm now hearing and sensing all these things. And that's what it means by leveling up as a multidimensional level of awareness. You now have a new level of awareness packet to explore within. Your awareness is a multidimensional experience, going beyond the words that we've known as claircognizant, clairsentience, clairaudient, moving beyond that. Multidimensional levels of awareness is a sense of absolute beingness in that new vibrational environment. You're becoming that new vibrational environment you're creating as within, so without, because you want to expand and integrate all that you are as greater beingness. So understanding who you are is so vital and so key, and you can't jump over, you can't step, you can't race. Many of you that are watching these videos, you've been with me from the very, very beginning, since our KCOR days. And many of you have taken your time on this journey. You've taken your time and your great care on this journey to get to know who you are. So these next jumps that are coming up for our collective humanity are going to be really fun. So really tap into your connection with your inner child. What do you want to play with? What do you want to excite yourself with exploring? Is it with our celestial communities? You can start seeing your planet as a celestial community. start opening up to the vibration of these intelligences that are sitting within the celestial communities for us to start playing with and co-creating with. Cascading levels of vibrational potential. So we're going to start understanding and falling away what we know to be about space, what we know to be about time. Time will start releasing itself from our construct. We don't need that construct of time anymore. Everything is now. Everything that is meant for you will always show up for you when it's meant to, when you're prepared for it. As again, you're not going to receive a car when you don't have your license. So there must be that preparation for you to accept yourself within that new dimensional experience. I'm ready to step into a part of being a greater leader and teacher in higher vibrational wisdoms. I'm ready for that up-levelment. I'm ready. I've been held back for so long now due to the games of these energies and entities that thought they had power over me to make me play in games I didn't want to play in. And so all of those rules and constructs are coming to an end. And it is a micro-macro because it's no different than what we've been experiencing in our physical reality. We choose as a collective to not see war anymore. We're going to start to choose leaders that have higher vibrational resolve that will never ever create a war or think that they have power over another country and start taking over another country. Those are very low vibrational egoic energies of greed. And so it's just a matter to keep that in understanding and the constructs that you work within. And your awareness is the dimensional intelligence within that sheath of potential. And everybody will be exactly where they're meant to be based on their preparation. Have you released and healed the inner child? Have you released the constructs of your limitations? I'm anything, anywhere. I'm all beings, I'm all things. There's no fear. Everything is neutral to me. I can navigate through anything. Nobody can touch me. Nobody can take me over. Nobody can do all of those things that we're now clearing out those collective fears about being taken over or about taking control of. Those are fears that we're embedded within our collective for eons, because that's our planetary. It's the collective soul story. All of us are transmuting. We're all transmuting fear of control. Those are deep collective planetary wounds, and all of us are transmuting them through each of our own individual stories. And in our own individual stories, we get to remember, oh yeah, I remember that universal law of oneness, the universal law of energy, vibrational free will, and respect of it. And then you get to understand your vibrational sheath that you operate within, and you just navigate towards those higher vibrational laws of operation. And then you can just honor whatever anybody else is going through, but know that you can navigate yourself around it and away from it. Expansion of the allness in totality of itself, of its oneness of itself. So I'm still one with it, but I can navigate over here now because I want to navigate into something. I want to create a new experience of expansiveness. I want to keep evolving. I want to keep growing. I'm excited to grow and I'm excited to evolve. So the space illusion is becoming no more. The time is being just released. You know, we called it space-time before, but they're actually two different ideas of thought. And now we're just constructing a new experience now. Those constructs are now being released and rewritten. And what we knew to be quantum jumping, you can only quantum jump to what you're fully prepared for as a multidimensional experience. So the more multidimensional alignment and harmonization that you do with yourself, knowing thyself multidimensionally, sensing yourself multidimensionally, spending time with it multidimensionally, creating that peaceful, quiet time, that will be the only way. That's the only way that you integrate spirit, is through your solitary time with spirit. Also connecting with others, yes, and allowing their experience to be valid. You're including their experience to be valid. You're not wanting to change it or control it. You're allowing their experience to be valid. That's the allowance factor. The allowance factor opens you up to greater flow. Then you're in that new vibrational sheath of potential experience. Expansion of oneness. Awareness is everything. The cultivation of self-love, self-honor, self-care, and the appreciation of your path taken. So every day, take some time to appreciate, perhaps at the end of your day, I appreciate where I was today. Wow, I went through this, I went through that. I'm really cultivating a great sense of self-care of everything I've been through. That way I can understand and have compassion for all others. That's how you expand as a being of love, being of oneness. Open yourself up to a greater path of richness. It's like being in this kitchen, you got all these spices to play with. You get more spices to play with to your own creation. So again, and obviously being neutral and observant so that you're not judging or hindering or suppressing or depressing or controlling any other outside factor. Just allow the all to be the all. This is an incredible diverse experience of multidimensional, diverse energies of beingness and consciousness and codes and energies that we're harmonizing. There's been no other reality experience like this. It's truly so profound. What we're talking about is so profound. It's never been talked about before. And we're doing it here on earth for the first time. These are the first time these teachings have been offered in this way. We're a multidimensional soup of allness. So we wouldn't want to control any part of it or say that any one part doesn't fit. We can all harmonically find ways to be at peace with all, to be at peace in the all, and allow all paths to play out in alignment with the universal laws of honor and respect for all life. We're really allowing ourselves to level up in a big way. So to take time in the observation and the allowance and the acceptance. So that's allowing yourself to be the all. I'm not going to deny myself. I'm not going to depress myself. I'm not going to express resistance of any part of myself. That's you as the allness, you as the expansiveness. So then you're operating in this higher vibrational space, which you're going to need more vibrational codes to operate within, because you've passed that construct, if you will. You want to operate in a bigger way. Why wouldn't you? I don't want to stay stuck. I'm not going to be in a box. But you have to have that solitary time and practice with energy. Practice yourself sensing and connecting with these new energies, with these new potentials. Do you see yourself differently every day? See how you can wake up and see your skin differently. You can see your body differently. You can see yourself alchemizing reality. Really play with this. This is really amazing. And again, your connection with spirit. Can you exalt and get excited about these new energies, about these new dimensional processes and potentials? That's getting creative. That's using your creative gifts, your creative skills, your creative talents in this new now moment to become that inner child. They're really, really profound. Your awareness is everything. To be a constant student and child of God's offering is the infinite. And those are the creational laws, the infinity. Life within life, the experience of such. To experience all moments as the fullness of all moments. Your level, I'm doing a lot of clearing. Awareness is your consciousness level and releasing of constructs within any new level. And that's where your releasing of your wounds and your child triggers all of those things. So your consciousness will be based on how willing you are to heal and love yourself, include yourself, heal yourself, honor yourself, accept yourself, and continue that cycle. So practicing connection with your spiritual essence, that's alchemy. Practicing seeing your physicality changing and altering, that's coming into the moment of now, alchemy, now, alchemy. I'm changing my physical reality, really getting rich with it, really getting rich with that connection. That is alchemy. And the dimensional laws of creation equal are the dimensional intelligence within every level of dimensional sheets. There's dimensional intelligence that you can't operate to get excited about and partake. That's why I offered you that metaphor of the dimensions in the many house. I can feel the intelligence is being offered in these rooms, and now I'm going to harmonize it and I'm going to express it out and share. That is manifestation. Everything that I place out will return to me a tenfold. So that's just understanding creational laws, understanding and respecting creational laws, and that's the manifestation process. And of course, doing so through love. So those are the creational juice packets. If you're going to have a lunch of creation and what that meant for you, that would be it. The experience of itself within itself, the awareness of itself within itself, the love of itself within itself. That is the juice of creation. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. And it's all infinite. So let's get excited. Let's get excited. I'm so excited. I had a really soft and gentle, peaceful day yesterday with my energy. And today I woke up like, wow, there's so much I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to learn. I felt like today I felt like I saw myself reading as, again, that house with many things going on. There was many rooms that I could go into, and each room was teaching something different. Like these masters were teaching different things in these different rooms. And I was so very excited because I could hear these things as I'm walking by the rooms in a college, if you will. I could hear all of these beautiful things taking place and these beautiful teachings taking place. And I was so excited. So I'm absolutely, I'm a teacher at heart, and I was born to share and to teach and express. So we're going to pull some oracle cards before we go, and we let you go for the weekend. So I would love for you to, any comments and any sharing that you would like to offer below on this beautiful, beautiful co-creation as we're entering into the winter solstice and into fall. We're so very happy and excited to be with us. And we have this beautiful new deck. And this new deck is called the Sacred Sea Oracle by Justine Cerebrin. Beautiful, beautiful deck by Justine. Thank you, Justine. Sending you much love and benevolence. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Masters, and the beautiful Master, the humble messenger of the Law of One, is with us today. And their collective name is Ra. Great sun god. SunAmunRa. It's a collective of teachers and healers that are with me, SunAmunRa. And SunAmunRa, they've been with me for many, many times. Oh my gosh, isn't that hilarious? The sea goddess of transmutation, celebrate change. Isn't that just what we were talking about? Isn't that amazing? And so again, her crown chakra is all lit up and she's bringing in all of these ancient experiences and breaking through the sheaths of constructs. She wants to see herself in brand new ways. She has to transmute those constructs of what was. You have to understand why you held the beliefs you did. If you have a limiting belief, why did you hold it? Who did you get that from? It doesn't really matter often or not, but I'm ready to release that. I want to see myself as more. I want to be myself as more. I want to have a great life and live in a healthy body. And I want to inspire others to live in a healthy body. I have a gift here. I have excitement here. Show me how to create with my gift, my unique gift that's just for me. And I am a transmutation goddess. And I want to help others inspire that within themselves. How wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, SunAmunRa. Thank you, Sheshaya Makaya to Kina Namaya to Tisia Nama, Ayushisha Namakaya to the Kesema, Ilamakaya to Kida, showing me an alternate reality right now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm so blessed and gifted. I'm so grateful for your vision that you're showing me right now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Ingenuity. Thank you. That's what we're moving into. These new dimensional sheaths will offer us dimensional intelligence, which will bring us ingenuity, innovativeness. These new inventions will how you can reach out these tentacles of love and light of energy, sheaths and threads, and you can reach up and gather these codes of love and light and really create that integration within. Wow, I can create this. And while we are creating these inspirations through one another, the reflection and the observation of one another help inspire us to become more of who we are and reflect upon that power of oneness. And of course, our Gaia energy is so rich with her evolution with us. She has an ever-changing soul blueprint code for us to grow within. This was one of my very first cards in this deck that I saw was the Rainbow Light Temple. And I always say rainbow hugs and kisses because it's the energies of the allness that are coming into a single ray of light. And that is the rainbow code of love. We are all reflections of the heavens, and we are all reflecting to each other the many colors of who we are, the diversity of who we are. That is the power of this earth, is the power of our diversity. That is the true experiment, if you will. How can we come from such separation and limitation to really honor the diversity and the color of all that we are and bring it into harmony so that we can absolutely prepare this planet to be the first planet that has gone through such density transmutations to be in one with the diversity of our universal celestial families and beingness at this capacity. It's really profound. It's beyond what we can say in words. I mean, I hope I'm expressing it in the most excited way because I can't, this is no small thing here, people. It's no small thing here. What we're doing is pretty profound and miraculous. And we're going to pull one from my sacred deck. And I have a sacred oracle deck that I have on my own. So thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Oh my God. This is the sacred rebel deck and diving for light. And it reminds me of that. Again, she's immersed in water. She's immersed in water. The power of attraction and the diving for light. You can see they're all in water. So water is really profound, and why water is the symbology of life itself. There would be no life if there were no water. It's the essence of who we are. It's why it's such a powerful factor of our alchemy. It's such a powerful factor of honoring our emotions, of allowing the emotions to flow in the bodies of all that is creation and to manifest through that. Not to be afraid of it, not to suppress it or depress it or deny it or resist it, but to allow it. And in therefore, it just equally becomes light. It's not like you're resisting it or you have to search for it. The light will just be. We're so happy and so grateful. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for all of these beautiful co-creations. We thank each and every one of you for being with us. And thank you for being a part of this incredible, exciting time and period. So get excited about who you are. Get out to the parks get into your oneness with the biosphere. Know that there's these beautiful dimensional sheaths that you can open up into, just allowing the beautiful sacred grace. Know that where you are is perfect. It's not a race. It's never meant to be. It will never ever be. Your guides and your soul will exactly allow you to be in what you have and where you are, so that you're learning and accepting the most in that moment of the most. So just honor it. Know that you will always have the beautiful gifts that you're meant to. Spirit would never ever keep anything from you. It's always going to be the most beautiful experience of spirit offering you the all. You're just here to level in that ownership and that value of it. We are divine beings of sacred grace. Do not harm your bodies. Love your bodies. Love your bodies as spirit because you are. Honor who you are as spirit because you are. Honor the mentality of who you are because you are. Create that excitement to learn and to grow and to expand, and to see all of your celestial beings as the ones before you. To see all of your heavenly and angelic beings as the ones before you, and allow all that is to be perfect in all moments, because it is. Stay neutral within it all. And thank you, dear lighted ones. We love you so very much. Rainbow hugs and kisses, and we love you. Bye.